All right, it's a good weekend to stay inside, so if you are looking for some movies to watch this weekend, we've got some ideas for you. Michael Cook is here to review two. One you can check out in theaters, the other one you can watch from the comfort of your own home. So let's start with Where the Crawdads Sing.
Where the Crawdads Sing. That's the first movie to talk about, opening today at theaters across the country. It's based on the 2000 much-beloved novel. The movie is set in the late 1960s in North Carolina in the marsh or swampland. We meet a young girl named Kaya. She's living with her mom and dad and brothers and sisters. And eventually they all end up leaving her. Her dad's an alcoholic, so her mother leaves, the brothers and sister leave, and then finally the dad leaves, and all of a sudden this 8-year-old-ish girl is all by herself, raising herself in the marshes of North Carolina. That's one part of the story. But the movie begins, there's a death. We find the body of the popular former high school football quarterback, and they arrest the adult Kaya, believing that she murdered the young man because they had been previously involved. And so the movie then turns into a series of flashbacks of how she grows up and raises herself. At the same time, there's a courtroom drama of this young woman who's called the Marsh Girl because she lives outside of society and by herself in the marsh. This movie, of course, as I mentioned, the novel was much beloved. Yeah. The movie, I thought, was just clunky and corny. First of all, we're expected to believe that Daisy Edgar Jones, who plays Kaya, this gorgeous young woman, perfect teeth, lives by herself in this swampland. Unfortunately, I'm sure the people who love the novel may like the movie, but I thought it was just lacking in too many ways, which is why I give it a 6.5 out of 10.
I thought it was going to be lower than that.
Yeah, I'm probably being a little bit generous because the acting was good, but the movie I thought was just wasn't there.
Okay, all right. So next we have The Forgiven.
The Forgiven. This is on. You can rent it on demand on iTunes and other platforms like that. We see a wealthy couple, Jessica Chastain and Ralph Fiennes. They're going to a party at a wealthy friend's secluded Moroccan mansion, and on the way there they accidentally kill a young man on the road. The husband had been drinking, and they take the boy back to the mansion, and they have to figure out who the parents are, and etc. This couple, they're clearly not meant to be together. They're unhappy, they're rich, they're sort of listless in life. Then their stories diverge. He goes off to the desert with the family of the young boy to bury him as a way to honor them, and then she stays back at this hedonistic mansion, and his character at the beginning of the film is just a snob, kind of racist, elitist, all those things you can think of, and he goes on through an emotional journey kind of toward the light, and she goes on toward the dark, as it were. I enjoyed this movie. Some people might find it a little bit slow. There's a few parts where it could have been sped up, but the acting by Jessica Chastain and Ralph Fiennes is absolutely top-notch. There's a lot of interesting layers to this film about class and society and where you live and the time and the place. I love seeing the different culture of Morocco. So all in all, I did enjoy this film. There are a few parts that could have been done better, but all in all, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Not too bad then.
Not too bad. So, maybe you can stay in and see one of these films if it's too hot outside.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.